Hello hair growers and welcome back to my channel. My name's Thomas if you're brand new, and I make style and hair related videos every single week. And in today's video, we're going to be talking about whether long hair is even going to suit you when you're thinking of growing it out. So if you are a guy that's been thinking of growing your hair out and you've only just found me now, welcome aboard. We're all about that here on this channel. This is a very interesting topic because when you're growing your hair out, it takes a really long time. Before you commit to actually going through the growing out process, you want to make sure that your hair is going to work for you, you know what I mean? Because you don't want to waste all that time growing it out and then going, holy hell, this is totally not what I wanted in the beginning. So the way we get around that is it's all dependent on your face shape and what sort of features you have. And in this video, we'll be covering each different face shape or most common face shapes that there are and things that you can do with long hair to make it suit it better. The short answer is that long hair can suit everybody. We just got to know what to do with it. So before we break down in how to figure out your face shape, I thought I would mention just the 6 most common face shapes that I've seen in all the research I've done. I have read so many blogs, so many articles, consumed so many resources on this to try and get my head around it. And I've always found the written form of things really hard to understand when I'm trying to read about face shapes and stuff. So I wanted to make this video to pretty much let you know what's going to work with your face shape and kind of how to identify that. So the 6 most common face shapes that I have seen in every resource that I've read is the square face shape, the oval face shape, the round face shape, the oblong face shape, the triangle face shape, and the diamond face shape. To make this easier, I thought the first place to start would be to talk about where you actually need to measure to determine the face shape. Then we're going to go through every single face shape and what kind of long hairstyle is going to work with that, okay? The way you measure these structures, or the points to measure to determine your face shape, are dependent on the length of your face, so from the tip of your hairline to the tip of your chin, and then also the main bone structures in your face, so your forehead, your cheekbones, and your jaw, and what the width between all of them are in relation to each other, which is what determines the face shape. So like I was saying before about the triangle face shape, no one literally has a triangle head. It's actually just about the placement of the bone structures in their face. And when you'll see what I mean very, very shortly about that. So those are the places that we measure, but the actual way to find where you're looking for, because you actually got to feel around to see what width everything is. When we're measuring our forehead, we want to go from the peak of our eyebrows. So if you lift up like this, you'll find the most pointiest bone in your eyebrow, which is just around near where the peak is. And this is what determines where your forehead starts, or the width of your forehead. And for me, it starts here and goes up like that. And then the cheekbones are here. And the way we find the right measurement for our cheekbone is by going to the corner of our eye and then finding the pointiest part of our cheek. So for me, that is here. And then the next part is your jaw, which is down here, these pointy pieces, and where they are. You just feel for the pointiest bit. So they're the points of reference that you're going to use, and then you're going to look in the mirror and figure out where yours sit to determine your face shape. So if we break down into the face shapes as well, we're going to start with the oval one first. The reason I wanted to start with the oval one is because in a professional stylist world, the oval face shape is considered to be the most flattering. And I believe that's because all the proportions are so even and nicely spaced. And usually with hairstyles, what a stylist is trying to do, if somebody's got a square head, if somebody's got an oblong head, if somebody's got a triangle head, they're trying to use the hair to make the face appear more oval, because that is considered the most flattering. Now, that's from a professional's point of view, and that's kind of their rules. It doesn't actually apply. You can ignore them completely and do whatever the hell you like. But this is just practical advice that, more often than not, you'll find it more flattering. And you can adjust your hairstyle to make it work like this. So let's begin with the oval face shape. The oval face shape is the face shape that I have, actually. So with the oval face shape, most hairstyles are going to work with this. The way we identify an oval face shape is the face is longer than it is wide. So from the tip of my hairline to my chin is significantly longer than the width of my face. And then the bone structures for the forehead, the cheeks, and the jaw kind of go like this, really even in the oval shape. So the widest part of my face is my cheekbones, and they sit about here because I go from the corner of my eyes, and this is the pointiest part here. And then my forehead and my jaw structure are narrower than my cheekbones, but very, very slightly. So you can actually see, look, see how where my thumb's sitting? My thumb's sitting on my pointiest part of my cheekbone. My index fingers are sitting on my eyebrows. They are in a little bit more, and then my jaw also tapers in a little bit more compared to my cheekbones. So it's kind of like, ooh, that's how it works. So that's how we would identify an oval face shape. Now, any long hairstyle really is going to work with an oval face shape. There's only two things we really need to be careful of. Because we already have that oval proportion, we don't really want a wide hairstyle, because what that'll do is trick people into thinking that our head's wider than it actually is. So outie styles like Jay Alvarez aren't really going to be a great fit for me. And I hate that because I really love his hair and I would love to have a big buffy hairstyle all the time like his. But for me, longer hair is going to suit me way better because it's going to accentuate my ovalness. The other thing oval face shapes need to be careful of is things like cutoff fringes. I'm not sure how many guys out there are actually going to go and get a cutoff fringe, but having a cutoff fringe can also box your face in and make it look wider. And same with having too many layers put in the front. So by layer, I don't actually have my hair layered at all. Mine's just all nice and even. But having layers around the front can really box this in and add width. So if you're a guy with an oval face shape, you can pretty much have free reign on everything. I would just avoid, big buffy outie styles. Medium hair, depending on your hair type, can look a little bit rough. And just don't get a blunt fringe because it's not gonna work. Okay, but other than that, go nuts. The next face shape that we're going to talk about is the square. See in this diagram right here. So with a square face shape, the way we identify that is the forehead bones, the cheekbones, and the jaw bones are all the same width as each other, and the width of the face is actually also very similar to the height of the face. So it's very like even proportions. Now, people with square face shapes, they've got very angular jaws and usually like really like cut chiseled cut chiseled cheekbones, and they usually photograph really well. Now, as a guy, I don't know why we'd want to dull down those features because those features are actually really masculine and I think they look really great. But if you're going to make long hair work with a square face shape, you're better off having something that is, from the neck down if you're going to go for long hair. If you have anything that, remotely falls near your chin, it's going to add to the width of that face and make it look a little bit out of proportion. So like the oval face shapes, you want to avoid the width. Keep it from like about here down because anything that falls around your chin is just not going to work out. But other than that, it's really good. And when you wear a man bun with a square face shape, it's really, really cool as well because it actually shows off all those features. With a man bun, we kind of like tie it all up, everything's revealed, and it can actually really make the face look really nice. Plus, the man bun makes the head a little bit taller. So, you know how I was saying a square face has quite a lot of width? A man bun can actually make it look taller, which can be quite flattering as well as showing off all those angular jawlines and stuff. And when it comes to length, maybe go for like from the middle of the neck downways. That's gonna suit you and make you look really handsome. Moving on to the next face shape. So we're gonna talk about the oblong face shape now. So the oblong face shape is pretty much, it's kind of like the square face shape. The bone structures from the forehead, the cheek, and the jaw are all very similar in width, except we have a far longer face. Now with an oblong face shape, most guys that have this usually get really insecure about their forehead being too big. And understandably, like if I've had any questions here on my channel about will long hair suit me, it's usually coming from a guy that has a rather large forehead. He's like, I'm just worried that wearing a man bun's not going to suit me. I don't know if long hair is going to suit me. And essentially, you can do something about this. So I would ultimately recommend something of the medium length, kind of maybe like a Jon Snow sort of length, or a Jay Alvarez look, especially if you've got big hair, because what these lengths are going to do is bring so much attention to all the length, and it's actually going to add a bit of width, especially Jay Alvarez hairs. The more width we can add to an oblong face, the less long it's going to look. And not only that as well, if you are going to go for the really long look, like kind of what I have, I would consider getting layers put in the front. So what layers actually do is help frame the face in and add a little bit of texture. So if you got some layers added in the front with super long hair, it can actually help bring the length of the face up so it doesn't look as long as well. When it comes to wearing a man bun with an oblong face, especially if you have a big forehead, again, like I was saying with the square face shape, once you pull everything back with the man bun, everything's revealed. So your head's gonna look long, okay? unless you do get the layers cut in the front and wear the layers out and wear the bun up. Then that can work because your face is going to be framed and it's going to bring things more into proportion. But I don't really see many guys like wearing a man bun and rocking their bangs. Like it's not something that I see a lot, but it's an option if you want to do it. I would just avoid, if you're going to wear a man bun with an oblong face, of wearing it high, because that's going to add more length to the head. And plus, having a man bun and pulling all the hair back with all your facial features revealed, it's just going to be one big long thing. You know what I mean? But the right way to wear a bun with a longer face is to have it either at the back to create more width at the back to distract from length, or wear it a bit lower as well. They're your best options with the oblong face. And please do not let a big forehead deter you from growing long hair, because again, you can make it work. You've just got to know what you're asking for when you get in that chair, and yeah, really let them know. Alrighty, now it's time for the next face shape. So the next face shape on the list is going to be the triangle face shape. Insert image. So the triangle face shape is determined by the bone structures kind of tapering down like that. And what I mean by that in a literal sense, so if we measure our forehead bone, right, this is the narrowest part of the face. The next narrowest part is the cheekbones, and then the widest is the jawbone. So I think Brett Maverick, a lot of you guys probably watch him as well. He has a very triangle face shape, and he has this gorgeous jaw, right? Gorgeous jaw, beautiful cheekbones, and then quite a narrow forehead. And he actually combats his facial structure by having quite a bit of length on the side and length on top. So what this does is, because his features taper from narrow to wide, by having a little short bit of length on the sides here that tapers up and a bit of volume up here, it evens out the fact that his jaw is the widest part of his face. Triangle face shapers also have really, really beautiful jaw structures. The thing with a triangle face shape though is when you wear a man bun and your jaw is the widest part, you can literally make your head look like a triangle, because like the bun makes it all pointy. So it's kind of like, hey, look at this. Maybe like wear it at the back and or down lower if you've got a triangle face shape. But also with triangle face shapes, if you're gonna rock long hair, medium styles will work for you, because when you have medium hair, like it's all gonna fall like either from here to around here, so your face is gonna be cropped in. And what this hair around the front is gonna do is help compensate for the narrowness in the forehead and even it up with the jawline. And the same goes with like, if you're gonna have super long hair with a triangle face shape, having those layers cut in as well around your eyes is going to make this part of your head look bigger rather than your jaw. And that's how you keep that sort of in proportion. Again, if you don't give a fuck, then you just go and do whatever you want. But yeah, it's a cool thing to take into account. So if you've got a really wide jaw, narrower cheekbones, and then an even narrower forehead, you have the triangle face shape, and it's quite a hot look. I like it. So now we're going to move on to the round face shape. So the round face shape is kind of similar to the square face shape in terms of dimensions. So it's as long as it is wide, and the bone structures, the forehead, the cheek, and the jaw kind of all line up with each other. The difference with a round face shape is the jaw is not as chiseled, like the facial features are not as like defined. So the chin can look really round, the up here looks really round. The real difference is the actual like structure of the pieces. So like the chin is not as defined, the cheeks are not as defined, and you've kind of got this really roundy sort of look. It's a different face shape. If you're gonna make long hair work with this face shape, it's actually a good one to work with. Again, same with the square. Keeping any length from the neck down is going to add more length to the face, because our face is quite wide, plus the height of it is very similar. By having any sort of longer hairstyle is going to add length to that face. The round face shape also, it's similar to the oval as well, where like anything cut off, like a cut off fringe, which again, I don't think any of you are going to get, or having bangs in the front can really widen that. So you want to avoid those things and just go for full long. If you have a round face shape, you've got a very good chance of long hair suiting you. And the other things that you can do in terms of making your round features work is by growing a little bit of facial hair if you can, because what facial hair can do is help like create a false structure that you've got a jawline. And yeah, it's just another little like trick to help it all work together. And the cool thing is long hair and beards, they really do work together. So if you've got a round face shape, you definitely are determined for this journey. Again, in terms of wearing a man bun with a round face shape, if you tie all your hair back, again, everything's revealed. So get that facial hair on. So when you tie it up, whoa, I've got structure now? What? Just a cool little tips. It's actually one of the most workable ones. It's really cool. Now we're gonna go on to the diamond face shape. So the diamond face shape is similar to the oval in terms of the cheekbones are the widest, and then the jaw and the forehead are actually like narrower, but the proportions are just a little bit more extreme. So the forehead bone is quite narrow, the jawline is quite narrow, and people with the diamond face shape will usually have quite a pointy chin and have the cheekbones sitting out. The diamond face shape also has great cheekbones, by the way. So if we're gonna make a diamond face shape work with long hair, your best interest, again, going back to the oval rule, we kind of wanna even the proportions out a little bit more. So having a layer chopped in the front that particularly falls to or below your chin, what that can do is help widen the forehead and widen the jaw, or make it look wider to bring those proportions out a little bit more. And then also when you're wearing a man bun, again, if you're pulling all your hair back, everything's going to be revealed unless you wear those layers out, which again I think would look really funny. I just don't know anybody that does that, or I've never really seen it on guys. Maybe we can make it a trend, I don't know. But yeah, that's the main sort of things you need to take into account with that, and I think any sort of length is going to work. Medium hairstyles will work with a diamond face shape, really long hairstyles will work with a diamond face shape, and yeah, you pretty much got free reign on it. Oh, that was such a mouthful. I had to remember so much. I literally have. I've studied up so much, and I was really trying to come up with a way that I could like incorporate this into an easy, understandable way for you guys. So if you actually got value out of this video, please let me know in the comments, because it's something that I just got so sick of reading blogs and going, what do you mean by that's where you measure? Like, I think we've figured it out, and I think my delivery was good. I think that's good. But yeah, I hope you got some value from this video, and please, if you're concerned about growing your hair out, really listen to these tips, because the reason people do get insecure about it is like, I've got the long hair now, but I look funny. The reason that it's looking funny is because things are not in proportion, and you have to figure out what your face shape is and make the appropriate steps if you want to even it out. If you do literally not give a fuck, then you just go for the long hair. But yeah, if it's something that you're a little bit concerned with, do a bit more research on your face shape and go and feel where your bone structures are. It's very interesting to know. Like, I was so stoked when I found out that I had an oval face shape. I was like, damn, I can rock any hairstyle, and I never wanted a blunt fringe anyway, so whatever. So that is literally all I have for you in this video. Thank you so much for coming to watch. Please hit the thumbs up button, and I'll see you next week for another video, okay? Goodbye. Whew, that was a mouthful. Really, I have read so many blogs about like face shapes and stuff, so I'm glad that I got to get that out. But hey, if you've watched to the end of this video, why not watch another? We've got a video here, we've got a subscribe button here, and another video here. Like, there's just so much to go around. And if you haven't subscribed yet, make sure you do, because you're missing out.